everybody, and welcome to the 29th edition of LM's Weekly Wrap, our weekly program to cover all the developments relating to the markets, what is expected going forward into the markets. This week, as usual, we start off with the global developments because global developments tend to decide the flow for the domestic markets also. We had the US markets where the US Federal Reserve has come out with commentary that the process of disinflation has started. So we could look forward to the easing of the interest rates. But then again, the scenario has become more volatile after we saw unexpectedly that the jobs data has been very strong. As a result of this, we've seen the Federal Reserve again change their stance, and they have indicated that now they will react to the developments which take place in the market. So, if they feel that the labor market is very strong or the inflation is starting to inch up again, they may be prompted to go in for more rate increases in order to cool off an overheated economy. These factors continue to influence the markets, and overall we are seeing the technology stocks also coming under some sort of pressure in the international markets. The Dow has also been quite volatile in trade of late recently. In the domestic markets, I think we had the overhang of the budget. The budget definitely a positive document, as we have already mentioned earlier. But it's been the Adani group related developments which have impacted the markets. We've seen India come down to the third position in the MSCI Emerging Markets Index. We've come after China and Taiwan third position. We've seen during the week that the rupee had also become weak at one point in time, although it's trying to gain back the lost ground. But I think all these factors definitely are a cause of worry. We've seen some amends being done to the MSCI, this Adani related stocks. And there is a general apprehension in the market that banks might go a bit slow in lending to the corporate sector after what has happened to the Adani related stocks. So all this, a culmination of all these factors, putting the market in a very uncertain zone. Markets are in an uncertain zone at this point of time. They are trying to make up their mind on how to move forward. What will be the way forward from these levels? We are coming towards the end of the earnings season too, and I think it's been a kind of a mixed earnings season where we've seen certain inferences relating to the market. One, that margins have been under a lot of pressure. A lot of companies are still struggling with elevated input costs, elevated energy costs. Cost inflation continues to be a worry. The margins have kind of started to improve because the inflation has moderated a bit, but still not at a very convincing level. So I think it will take a couple of quarters for things to really stabilize from the current levels. Now we start off with a sectoral analysis as usual, when we cover the different sectors of the markets. The first is the auto sector. We've had a very good run as far as the auto sector is concerned. We had the FADA data recently, Federation of Automobile Dealers Association, where they have indicated that passenger vehicles, commercial vehicles, tractors continue to do very well. But in passenger vehicles, entry level segment still continues to struggle, and two-wheeler segment is a segment which is showing a lot of weakness. So Bharat, that is the rural India, continues to struggle with poor demand related issues. We've seen positive momentum today as we discussed this show. Mahindra and Mahindra has declared a good set of numbers. Mahindra and Mahindra is close to the 52-week highs. At the same time, we are seeing good momentum in Tata Motors. We are seeing good momentum in Bajaj Auto and Maruti. So I think all these stocks continue to do well. Particularly with respect to Mahindra and Mahindra, I'd like to point out that some of their group stocks have been doing very well in the markets. Whether it is the M&M on the auto side, whether it is Mahindra CIE on the automotive ancillary side, and whether it is M&M Finance, which is on the NBFC side. I think all these companies continue to do very well. Incidentally, all of these stocks have been doing very well in the markets also of late recently. The next sector which we'd like to cover is the banking space, and as pointed out earlier, also the banks are going to point out they are going to supply credit to the most of the important sectors of the economy. So this week we had some very positive momentum being seen in State Bank of India and IndusInd Bank. Of course, the private sector banks also continue to do very well. Then we come to the NBFC space. In the NBFC space, I think the HDFC twins, that is HDFC and HDFC Bank, and the Bajaj twins, that is Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, continued to do very well in the markets, and they were amongst the prime movers in the market. Next, we come to is the capital goods space. In the capital goods space, we've seen very good performance coming in from the likes of Cummins and Thermex. Both these companies have declared very strong set of numbers. Today we await numbers from ABB. Overall, the commentary from the capital goods makers has been quite strong. Next sector which we come to is cement. In cement, we have seen a lot of weakness in the couple of group companies of the Adani group, that is ACC and Ambuja Cement. Both these stocks have been under significant pressure in the markets, and overall the cement sector continues to struggle with margin related issues, and being not in a position to hike the prices has impacted them to a large extent. Then we come to the FMCG sector. I think the FMCG sector has made it very clear that there's been a sharp slowdown in the rural markets, whereas the urban markets and the premium and the luxury segment continues to perform quite well. So we've seen stocks like Dabur come under some sort of pressure on account of the developments in the rural markets. The rest, I think the FMCG space continues to do well. After this, we have the metal space. In the metal space, we are seeing the aluminum stocks have come under a lot of pressure, whether it is Hindalco, Nalco. Both of these have come under significant pressure. At the same time, Tata Steel declared a weak set of numbers. The domestic performance was quite strong, but that was offset by the higher costs, higher overheads, and the higher elevated energy costs in the European operations. So European operations proving to be a drag as far as Tata Steel is concerned. At the same time, we've seen some weakness in the Vedanta group stocks too. Next we come to is the IT space, information technology space, and while we saw some weakness in HCL Technologies during the week, it was TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, which has extended its partnership with the Phoenix Group of UK, and they've bagged an order worth £600 million. So I think it's a prestigious order. Remains to be seen what is the duration during which this contract will be executed. So overall, I think positivity as far as TCS, Infosys are concerned, but HCL Technologies we did see under some sort of pressure. Finally, we come to the pharma space, and I think pharma, it's been a kind of a mixed performance. A lot of companies are trying to come back into the markets, report better quality margins, struggling with raw material related issues. So no specific movement over there to discuss. And finally, we have real estate sector, where we are seeing the stocks under a lot of pressure, especially despite good performance. A few companies like Century Textiles, they continue to hit 52-week lows. They are continuously going down in trade. We have Godrej Properties, which has been under some kind of a pressure. And we have dedicated real estate players like Soba Limited, which have also come under pressure post the results. So a lot of other things to issue to discuss, but I think our LM Weekender stocks, you can have a look at them. We have the Action Construction Equipment, which is close to achieving its target. The stock has performed quite well, and we intend to re-rate it further in our forthcoming Weekender stock ideas. I think that kind of sums up our program for today. Do write back to us with your feedback on our program. Thank you for a patient hearing. Thank you very much.